Good afternoon. I'm Mike Bird with Informativ, and today we're diving into what really happens behind the scenes when fraud prevention, compliance, and pre-desking technology come together to drive dealership success. We've gathered some of the sharpest leaders from top-performing dealer groups to share real-world experiences and how they're streamlining operations, protecting against fraud, boosting performance, and ultimately creating a better experience for their customers. Today, we have with us Scott Kunis, who's the Chief Operating Officer from Kunis Auto Group. We have Ben Stillwagon, who's the Director of IT for Cavender Auto Family. Brandon Lee is the new car director at Autobahn BMW Fort Worth. And we also have Kent Hensley, who's the Senior Vice President of Operations at Informativ. So today, you'll be hearing about this won't be theoretical. This is what's happening in stores, just like yours around the country. The challenges, the wins that are happening, and how they're going about it. So let's jump in. We know that fraud's on the rise in our industry. And once the fraudsters find a crack in their armor, they tend to come back with a vengeance. So Brandon, I'd like to start with you. You've had firsthand experience with synthetic fraud, which synthetic fraud is something maybe not all dealers have experience with. Can you walk us through how that unfolded at your dealership?
Yes, of course. So I didn't know what synthetic fraud was until 18 months ago. And we had some clients come in, and we had two $100,000 cars stolen within 60 days. And everything passed. When I say everything, red flags passed, OFAC passed, credit passed, not only with the dealer at our level, but also with our BMW Financial Services. The contract funded, cars were gone. And we didn't know anything was going on until we got a phone call from BMW Financial to let us know that the payments hadn't been made.
So going through that experience, how did that change your approach to fraud prevention?
Well, really what it was for me was, we had to find something, a solution, and find it fast. When you have an asset stolen like that, it is... it's a big hit to the bottom line. So, we were chasing, and we were trying to find a solution to it. And, the solution for us was obviously Informativ. They gave us immediate known if somebody was a fraud. So if you take their app, which their app is incredible, it's very user-friendly, very simple to use, which you get buy-in from your client advisors, your salespeople, whenever it's easy to use. But literally, instantly, once they take a picture of a driver's license, front and back copy, and the insurance card, me as a manager can see whether or not they're fraud right then. So, I was at that point whenever we were chasing, every customer to me was a fraudster until they weren't, right? Had to prove it to me. And with Informativ, it happens just like that. So you can go through the rest of the process with confidence.
Ben, have you had similar challenges?
Yeah, definitely. When we expanded our partnership with Informativ, we also went to the driver's license fraudulent scanning, and we caught fraudsters in our Mercedes-Benz store right there, real time. We were able to call the police, detain the folks, and we were able to save a stolen car, essentially. So worked out well for us.
Now, Scott, I would imagine with 50-plus stores, you've probably run into fraud once or twice?
Yeah, we've kind of been hit from every direction. So whether it's internal fraud, customer fraud, you name it, synthetic fraud. So we've built a dedicated security team and fraud prevention team. But really the first line of defense is really always at the stores. And so Informativ is a great tool for us to start with. It helps us to get the right people involved to be able to catch it early so that our team can get in there right away. And likewise, we've caught people right at the store and called the police right then.
Yep.
So I'd like to shift gears a little bit and talk about process enforcement. So we all know that on a Monday, it's really easy to control process, but we get to a Saturday and we've got lots of people in the showroom, things get more complicated. So Scott, I'd like to start with you. And a group like yours with process and then having a technology behind it to drive that process, how vital has that been for Kunis, and how has Informativ helped?
Well, it's critical. When you're dealing with as many people as we have, we're up to just about 2,000 employees in all of our stores now. Informative helps us to ensure that we have compliance at every level, from salesperson to sales manager to F&I. And the tech really tracks everything. So we know that the customer experience is consistent and compliant. When you're managing this many rooftops, tech is essential to catch issues early and make the necessary changes, because they can happen just like that, whether it's internal or fraud, like we talked about. But there's also the cost savings element. We've had stores that would do 2 or 3 hard pulls on every single customer across all different bureaus. So it's super inefficient and costly. Every one of those bureaus is costing us money. So Informative's tools have helped us limit that and ensuring we're not overspending on bureau pulls, which really adds up across all 50 stores.
100%. Now, Ben, you and I were having a conversation about that transition from a paper process to a digital process. Could you maybe speak to that a little bit, and Cavener?
Yeah, we were very slow to adopt a digital process when we've done paper for years, like all of us, right? And really the biggest change for us was not having paper in the showroom, credit apps sitting on showroom tables, which are obviously a compliance issue, but having an easy mobile app that just, you scan everything you need in there. It's all under one platform, one dashboard. The desk manager can see who's in my showroom right now, where are we at in the process. So it's worked out really well for us. But yes, our teams were slow to move to really just moving to paperless at the front end of the process. But they love it now. We're used to it. It's a part of our process, and really we've embraced it. So.
Now, Brandon, at Audubon, what's been your experience from a process standpoint?
Well, it's made us so much more efficient, and my sales managers, my desk managers, we absolutely love the technology. Whenever you're desking a deal and you're pulling up the manager's, desk, you can see everything on there, right? You can see that the driver's license is scanned. You can see the insurance is scanned. You can see the OFAC. You can see the red flags. You can see the soft pull. It allows me as a manager to be able to desk my deals correctly. It allows us to just be more efficient in every way, and that's what it's about nowadays, right? When you're trying to grow, you're trying to sell more cars, you need to be as efficient as possible, and you need to be able to do that with the confidence that you're moving forward with a legit customer.
Absolutely. I think the days of the vanilla folder with the salesperson filling out the documents is long gone now. Being able to force that process and really set it up to the dealer specifications of how you want your showroom to operate has been something that we've really focused in at Informative. And then obviously having an auditable digital deal jacket that you can reference back. So speaking of consistency, one thing we hear often from dealers is that when they talk about the desk, it's a little all over the place. They have their A players, then they may have some B's and C players. Relatively consistent in some stores, maybe inconsistent at others. When we developed our Smart Pencil technology, the concept was that we would level the playing field at the desk. So I'd like Kent maybe to talk a little bit about the concept behind the Smart Pencil technology and the vision for it.
Yeah, thank you. The biggest thing is we, as part of that feedback, we've heard a lot about desking strategies and how to consistently implement them. So we've built a system called Smart Pencil. Smart Pencil leverages credit qualified payments. They're VIN specific. They uncover all sorts of profit opportunities across your deal structures. So your lenders, your structures, your fees, your markups, and OEM incentives. We handle all the crunching of the numbers and maximize your profitability on the back end to ultimately elevate these B and C players into A players. We've really designed it so that credit is what triggers these payments. So we're not jumping between systems. We're not banking on those legacy A players to really overcome any unknowns at the lender level, at the OEM incentive level. It's automatically done, and so it's going to produce the best possible payments for your customers as well as maximize your profitability. And so seeing a lot of positive momentum here does a lot of the work for you and ultimately unlocks that kind of desking strategy that's never been able to be operationalized through a tool set.
Absolutely. Well, and pre-desking is a little different than desking, right? And the concept is to move it forward in the process. Scott, I know we engage you a lot on new ventures, new products that we're coming up with, and very gracious for your team to give us feedback, and you were able to provide a lot of feedback into what the product has become. Maybe give your thoughts a little bit on Smart Pencil and how you can see it impacting stores at Kunis.
Yeah, I mean, we're about to launch the pilot here pretty soon and start to work on a few of the stores. And it's not about making the best desk managers better. They already know what they're doing, and they're going to tell you that they know what they're doing, right? And they're probably not going to want any help on that, right? But it's about raising the bar across the group. We have a unfortunately in the car business there happens to be a lot of turnover, and that's no different at our stores, no matter how much we try to combat that. So as we're trying to train up new desk managers and everything else, it's important for us to be able to make sure that we're taking advantage of all the tools that we have possible to do that. So when they could see the full spectrum of lenders, when we were talking about 30 plus lenders and 100 plus, and when you add Cuddle into there, and then the constantly changing bank parameters, right? We try to stay on top of it. You try to make sure that your entire group is talking about it. But Smart Pencil hopefully will help us identify those niche lending programs and those opportunities that even seasoned managers may have missed just because of the changes in the lending landscape out there.
Absolutely. Now, Ben, I'm going to put you on the spot. You just had a peek at it. Any initial thoughts around Smart Pencil and how it could impact Cavender?
Yeah, I mean, it's all right there at the beginning of the deal, right? Our customers, they want transparency, and they want it pretty much right when they walk in, and it provides that. It provides, just from a simple soft pull, you get a payment option. You get all your options right there in front that you can present to the customer. So I liked what I saw.
Absolutely. Now, the last piece I want to hit on is partnership, right? You guys have a lot of vendors you work with. Love for you, maybe, Ben, you could start us with talking about the partnership with Informativ and what it's meant for you guys in real terms.
For sure. It's been huge for us. I mean, I think of really whenever we bring up any ideas of, hey, we're thinking about doing this or that, they're always like, hey, how can we help? And that's what a true partner does. And then I also think about, we were doing 3 pulls on every single customer. And we have a Toyota store that sells 1,200 cars a month. So you can imagine how much money that costs us. And so they came to us and said, why aren't we doing soft pulls? And really never thought about that. So, so we've shifted our whole mentality to doing soft pulls on everybody, which has saved us a lot of money. And it's a lot easier. It's a lot obtrusive to the customer. So they're a true partner. They're looking out for our best interests, and they're going to continue to do that.
Scott, anything you'd like to add?
Well, yeah, I mean, I do feel like it's a true partnership. When you get to our size, we like to say that we're agile, that we look at the cutting edge products and all those kinds of things. But with as many people as we have now, for us to switch products midstream is really, really difficult. So it's important for us with multiple stores, multiple regions, to have partners that we know we can stick with and that they can adapt and evolve as well. And Informativ has been incredibly agile to a lot of our demands, I'll say. But you guys are all very, very responsive, and we really appreciate when it can be a true partnership with the vendor like that.
Absolutely. And Brandon, what about you?
Yeah, I mean, it's after 30 years in this business, I've worked with a lot of vendors, and just like these guys said, it's a true partnership with these guys. Not only was rollout and training on point, but the true partnership comes after that happens, right? It's whenever you have an issue, whenever you have a problem, how responsive are they? Are they going to be there for you? Are they going to work with you when you have those issues? And I'll tell you right now, it's been the best partnership I've had, and I've got to call out somebody. Trish, my sales rep, was amazing, and our support group too. The training at time of rollout with Sequoia was amazing too. So it's a great partnership, and they're very responsive.
Awesome, thank you. At Informativ, we built an end-to-end deal engine. It starts with the first interaction with the consumer, the first time they interact with your dealership, and it carries all the way through till they get sent over to F&I. And we feel that by integrating Smart Pencil into that process fills a giant hole in how we can be transparent with our customers, but also empower our dealership partners to sell more and to sell more efficiently. So we're super excited about that product and releasing it to the market. Afterwards, if you have questions or you'd like to see a demo, we're at 4137 West We'd love to spend some time with you. We're going to have a midday mixer. We'll have cocktails at the booth, a little added incentive to stop by. We're also going to have a drawing today of $5,000. So a great chance to stop by, take a demo. You'll get enhanced entries for that grand prize. I'd like to thank our panelists. I'd like to thank Ben, Brandon, Scott. Thank you guys so much for being here. Thanks, Kent, for being here and talking about Smart Pencil. We really appreciate you guys stopping by and listening, and look forward to speaking to you more about Informativ. Thank you.